بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله. يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة، يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد، لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Affection and love for the homeland is something very natural. You will not find a person who says, I do not love my country, or I have no affection for my country. Everyone, every single person has affection and love for their homeland, for their country. Even if you were forced to leave your country for political persecution, you face political persecution. You might have been arrested, you might have been in trouble. Maybe they would have sentenced you to death, and you had to flee from your country, run away from your country. But nevertheless, you love it. You have affection for that country. Maybe you left for political reasons, maybe to seek an education or to find a job, and you move to another country, but you will still continue to love your first country. Continue to love your homeland. Every person, when asked, which country do you think is the best country in the world? They'll tell you, it's mine. My country is the most beautiful country. It's the best country in the world, with the richest history and with the richest culture. Ask the people of Lebanon, what is the most beautiful country on the planet? They'll say Lebanon. Ask the people of Iraq, which country is the most beautiful country in the world? They'll say Iraq. Ask the people of Afghanistan, what's the most beautiful country in the world? They'll tell you Afghanistan. And ask the people of Nigeria, they'll tell you it's Nigeria. You will get the same answer. Because in our eyes, our country is the most beautiful. And it's the best country in the world. We always have the desire to visit, to go back. Ask every one of us, and we'll tell you that we have aspirations one day to go back. We won't stay here forever. One day we'll go back to the homeland. When we go visit, we feel we're at home. The air that we breathe, the smell in the air, we love it. anything that reminds us of the homeland, we will enjoy and we will love. You go to a restaurant that offers you food that reminds you of back home, you will love that restaurant. You go to a cafe that offers you coffee and tea that reminds you of back home, you will love that cafe. Even mosques, Islamic centers that remind us of back home, we will love it. Reciters, no haqqanis, who recite just like those who recited at home, we love it. We love it. Because it all reminds us of our homelands. We put paintings of our country, of our village, of our city at home. We write poetry about our country. When my father was in exile and he had left Karbala for 31 years, 31 years. He left in 1972. He came back in 2003. He came back to Karbala. For 31 years, not a day passed without remembering Karbala every day. Every day. He wrote poetry about Karbala. One day I remember he was stopped coming in to the US. The immigration officer, he told him, welcome home. He said, thank you, but my home is Karbala. He said, your home is Karbala? He said, yes. How much do you love this home? He told him, I love it so much that I carry its soil with me wherever I go. I carry its soil. When I miss it, I smell it. I remember back home. You love your homeland even if it mistreated you. Even if it's ugly, but in your eyes it's beautiful. Even if it has the worst weather, but in your eyes it's the best weather because it's at home. It's at home. You love your homeland unconditionally, just like loving your children. Does anyone not love their child? We all love our children unconditionally. And in our eyes, our children are the best of children. And they're the most beautiful children. So too is our country, our homeland. It's the best of countries. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We have a hadith attributed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam that states, Hubbul watan min al-iman. To love your country, this is part of faith. A sign of faith is to love your homeland, is to love your country. It's a good quality to have. A person who doesn't love his homeland, doesn't love his ancestral land, this person's lost. This person lacks faith. Part of faith is to love your country, to love your nation, to feel patriotic, to love where you came from. This is part of faith. Hubbul watan min al-iman. Very similarly, we have a hadith, an-nadhafatu min al-iman, that cleanliness is part of faith. So too is the love of one's country. There's no shame in it. If you love your country and you feel patriotic, this is a good sign. This is a good quality. You should love your country. You should have affection for your homeland. Hubbul watani min al-iman. Now, some ulama, they contested this hadith. They found this hadith to be problematic. Number one, it doesn't have a credible source. Number two, it doesn't have a chain of narrators. So from a Rijali perspective, it's problematic. Number three, well, hypocrites also love their countries. Non-Muslims also love their countries. Non-believers also love their countries. So how can this be part of faith? Because the hadith is general for Muslims and non-Muslims. So if a non-Muslim loves his country, how is that part of faith? If a hypocrite loves his country, how is that part of faith? Some ulama, and we shall get to this later on inshallah, some ulama say that this hadith is talking about Islamic countries. Your greater Islamic country, Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, these countries, Islamic countries, to love your Islamic country, not a non-Islamic country, not a non-Islamic society. Love for an Islamic country so that you work towards that country for the betterment of that country, not general. Of course, we will come back to this point and we'll critique this point later on, inshallah. We have other ahadith that emphasize the love of country and to feel patriotic. In Safinat al-Bihar by Sheikh Abbas al-Qummi, we have a hadith that says, Hubbul watan dalilun ala al-iman. That when you love your country, this is proof that you have faith, that you have iman in Allah Azza wa Jal, that you're tied to your roots, you're not disconnected. Some people are disconnected from their roots. Where were they born? They could care less. What's their lineage? Who's their family? Who are their ancestors? They could care less. This is wrong. You have roots. You have your heritage. You have your ancestors. You need to know about them. You need to be connected to them. You should have love for your roots. Don't be shy and don't be embarrassed. Take pride in your roots. Take pride in the country that you came from, that you originated from. And another hadith, ما عمرت البلدان إلا بحب الأوطان. That countries are built based upon the love of that country. When you have love for a country, you will build it. You will want it to be the best country on the planet. You will work towards it. But when you hate your country, you will misuse it. You will misuse it. You will take from the country that benefits you. Instead of you serving your country, you would want your country to serve you. This is not faith. ما عمرت البلدان إلا بحب الأوطان. And hence we see some corrupt politicians who mismanage and take advantage of the country's wealth, and they take bribes. They enter into power penniless. They come out millionaires. This person's corrupt. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, the day that he became Khalifa, when he came to the Khilafah, and he said that the day I leave, if I own more than the day that I entered, know that I'm unfaithful, that I deceived you. When I enter office and when I leave office, I should own the same, nothing more. Nothing more. Look at politicians today. They come to power, to political positions penniless, broke. They come out millionaires. These people do not love their country. If you love your country, you serve your country selflessly. Selflessly, with all sincerity, to see your country rise above the stars. Why is it that our countries are backward, my dear friends? Why is it that back home, they're third world countries, while America, Canada, Europe, Western countries improve day by day, they advance, but our countries go back day by day. Why? Because our politicians don't love their country. They love themselves. They're selfish. If they love their countries, they would be sincere in what they do. They would serve their country and work 24/7, not to make money, but to improve their country. And another hadith in Bihar al-Anwar, min karam al-mar, part of signs of nobility in men is that buka'uhu ala ma madha min zamaneh. A sign of nobility in men is that they cry for their lost days, meaning they show affection for the past, for their history. Decades ago, where they went, how they lived their life, they sit and they cry. They're affectionate for the past. This is one. Two, وَحَنِينُهُ إِلَىٰ أَوْطَانِهِ. This is part of a man's nobility. Affection for your country. A person who feels no affection for their country, who says, I could care less. Let my country burn down. I could care less. This person has no nobility. This person has no honor and no dignity. And وَحِفْظُهُ قَدِيمَ أَخْوَانِهِ. To preserve your old friends, this is part of dignity. A person who is noble, who has nobility, preserves their old friends. Don't lose their old friends. A lot of people, they make new friends and they lose their previous friends as if they don't know it anymore. They become complete strangers. This is not part of nobility. Nobility is preserving your friendship. Look at what Allah Azza wa Jal tells Rasulullah. You know, Rasulullah, the day that he migrated from Mecca to Medina, this was a very difficult day for him. Why? Because he was born in Mecca. He was raised in Mecca. He lived in Mecca for years. Allah tells him, لا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد. That I do not swear by this city as long as you live in this city. It was a very difficult day for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to leave Mecca, to abandon his home, to abandon his soil, and come to Medina. This was a very difficult test for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the day that he left, he looked at Mecca and he said, Wallah innaki la khayru ardillah. I swear that you are the best of God's lands. Wa ahabbu ardillahi ila Allah. And Allah loves you more than others. وَلَوْلَا أَنِّي أُخْرَجْتُ مِنْكِ لَمَا خَرَجْتُ. If I wasn't driven out of Mecca, I would not have left. You see, even Rasulullah, even a prophet of Allah has affection for his homeland, has affection for his city, has affection for his country. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Prophet Ibrahim, when he left Hajar and Ismail in the city of Mecca, Mecca became his country. Mecca became his city, his hometown. He prayed for it. This is something very natural. To pray for your hometown, to pray for your country. Pray for it. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا بَلَدًا آمِنًا. Oh Allah, make this country safe. When you pray for your country, pray for your homeland. When you say, God bless my country, this is good. Prophet Ibrahim prayed for his country. اجعل هذا البلد آمنا وارزق أهله من الثمرات. And another verse, it says, وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا الْبَلَدَ آمِنًا وَاجْنُبْنِي وَبَنِيَّ أَن نَعْبُدَ الْأَصْنَامِ. Ibrahim prayed for three things. Number one, for the safety and security of his country and his city. Number two, for economic prosperity. وَارْزُقْ أَهْلَهُ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ. He prayed for the economic prosperity of his country. Number three, he prayed for the spread of religious values and wisdom. وَجْنُبْنِي وَبَنِيَّ أَن نَعْبُدَ الْأَصْنَامِ. Oh Allah, keep idols away from Mecca. These are religious values that Ibrahim alayhi salam prayed for. Pray for your country. Pray for your homeland. I will mention the special name of the Imam because there are brothers and sisters coming in. I ask the brothers and sisters to come forward as much as stand and come as forward as much as possible. Rahimallah man dhakara al-qa'ima min ali Muhammad. Come forward. Sisters, come forward as much as possible. Please make room for others. Brothers, آقایون جلو بفرمایید. جلو بفرمایید. Please pull forward. Make room for others. Sisters, pull forward. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, in a famous sermon in Nahj al-Balagha, he says that any people who are occupied in their hometown will be disgraced. ما غزي فوالله ما غزي قوم في عقر دارهم إلا ذلوا. That by God, if a people allow their country to be invaded, they will be disgraced. This is what? This is a call to defend your country. Defend your country. A person who dies in the defense of his country is a martyr. Shaheed fi sabilillah. when you defend your country, when you don't allow invaders to come, to people occupy your country. Amir al-Mu'minin would call his people to jihad. Defend your countries, defend your cities, defend your villages. In fact, what is the purpose of jihad, my dear brothers and sisters? When we read the Quran, what is the purpose of jihad? Jihad is to protect your country. Jihad is to protect your homeland from invaders, from people who will come and take the wealth and riches of your country. And this is what happened in our homelands. Invaders came, they took everything that we own, our wealth, our riches, and they went. إنما ينهاكم الله, look at the Quran. إنما ينهاكم الله عن الذين قاتلوكم في الدين وأخرجوكم من دياركم. Those who drive you out of your cities, fight them. Fight them. Defend your country. This is the purpose of jihad. And this is an ideal that exists in every country. Every country sees that its soil is noble, is sacred, and that it should be defended. It should be defended. In the United States, Pearl Harbor in Hawaii was attacked. A small island in Hawaii was attacked. They went and they dropped a bomb on Hiroshima in Japan because they felt they were defending their country, their soil. أذن للذين يقاتلون بأنهم ظلموا وأن الله على نصرهم لقدير. Those who have been oppressed, Allah has given them permission to fight. Who? الذين أخرجوا من ديارهم. Those whom have been driven out of their cities, out of their hometowns, they have the right to defend themselves. Jihad is all about defending your land, your soil. It's sacred. It's sacred. Shias, my dear friends, followers of Ahlul Bayt, have been accused of not being patriotic. We followers of Ahlul Bayt, many people accuse us of not being patriotic, of not being loyal to our governments and our countries, rather to be loyal to the Islamic Republic of Iran. This is simply not true. This is simply not true. Of course, we have immense respect for the Islamic Republic of Iran, immense love and respect, but if we come from a different country, we are patriots of that country. If you're from Iraq, you're patriotic to Iraq. If you're from Afghanistan, you're patriotic towards Afghanistan. If you're from Kuwait, Kuwait, and so on. And so on. And this is the message of the Marja'iyya in Najaf to the Shia around the world, that be patriotic to the country that you live and show loyalty to the country that you live. Work for the betterment of that country. We are loyal citizens. We are patriotic citizens of our own countries. To be accused of being loyal to other countries, this is simply not true. This is false. This is part of Shia phobia, to scare people of Shia. Now be careful. All the Shia in the world, their loyalty is to the Islamic Republic of Iran. We love the Islamic Republic of Iran. And it's home to our 8th Imam, Al-Imam al-Rida, alayhi salam. And we pray for its safety and security. And we don't want any harm to happen to the Islamic Republic. But we are also loyal citizens of our own homes and of our own countries. And this is the Marja'iyya of Najaf, that wherever you are, in any country that you live, be loyal to your own country. What do we mean, be loyal? Work for the betterment of that country. Be good citizens, law-abiding citizens. Work to improve the country that you live in. Its economy, its military, its health system, its educational system. This is the message of Marja'iyya. Now, there's a very important question. We know that Islam teaches us love of one's country and to be patriotic. What do, Muslims in the West? We came from Afghanistan, from Iran, from Iraq, from Lebanon, from Syria, from Lebanon, from different parts of the world. Which country do we consider our country? Where is our home? You know, a lot of our youth Today they're lost. Where's my home? Maybe many of our youth are born here. There's a difference between where their fathers were born. Maybe the father was born in Afghanistan. The father was born in Iraq. The father was born in Bahrain, for example. But our kids are born here. Maybe some of them have not even seen the homeland back home. Where should they consider their home and their country? The East or the West? Here, there's a alim by the name of Sayyid Ja'far Murtada al-Amili, rahmatullah alayh, a scholar from Lebanon. He passed away. He says that the narrations that encourage us to love your country, it's talking about an Islamic country, not a Western country. A Western country will never be your country. America can never be your country. Canada can never be your country. It's talking about your Islamic country, where you were born, where you were raised, in an Islamic environment, an Islamic society. Islam wants you, with these ahadith that say love your country, to stay home and not to migrate, to stay home and work towards that country, work to improve that country. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't migrate. By serving your Islamic country, you're actually serving Islam. حُبُّ الْوَطَنِ مِنَ الْإِيمَانِ. He says the hadith is not talking about non-Islamic countries. Why would Islam tell us to love a non-Islamic country, a non-Islamic environment, a non-Islamic soil? Why? Why? A country that is full of disbelief and kufr. Islam would not want us to love that sort of country. Love your country back home. This is what Islam wants. With all due respect to the deceased late scholar Sayyid Ja'far Murtada al-Amili, rahmatullahi alayh, but we disagree. We disagree with him. Yes, we have two countries, and there's nothing wrong with having two countries. The country that you came from, your origin, your parents' origin, the home of your ancestors, and the country that you live in. The country that welcomed you with open arms. The country that provided you with the opportunity to study. It gave you educational opportunities, job opportunities. The country that gave you citizenship. The country that provided you asylum and a safe haven. The country that welcomed you with open arms and considers you equal to everyone else in that country. Why do we have to choose one or another? Why do I have to say that I either love Iraq, for example, or the United States of America? Why can't I love both? Both countries are my countries. Both are my homes. Why can't you both love Afghanistan and Canada? Afghanistan is your ancestral homeland. It's where your parents came from. Maybe you were born there, or your parents were born there, your grandparents were born there. But here is where you live. Here you were welcomed with open arms. Here you have opportunities. This is also home for you. This is also home for us. There's no shame in saying that Canada is our home. The US is our home. Australia is our home. New Zealand is our home. There's no shame in this. These are our homes. These are our countries. We are citizens of these countries. The hadith says, خَيْرُ الْبِلَادِ مَا حَمَلَكَ لَا مَا حَمَّلَكَ. The best of countries are those that welcome you. Those that provide you with opportunities. A country where you can grow and prosper economically, spiritually, religiously. Why do we have to deny the truth? Why do we have to be ingrateful? There are some, they migrate to America, to Canada. They make a business here. They become millionaires here, and they sit and they trash these governments. They trash these countries. Americans are this, Canadians are this. America is that, Canada is this. Well, you don't like it? Pack your bags and leave. There's a lot of airlines that will gladly take you. You can't be here and have a double standard and live here and come and trash the country. Yes, sometimes we are critical of governments. We are critical of certain foreign policies. But this does not mean that we hate this country. When I am critical of US foreign policy, it's because I love America. I want America to stop doing injustice to other countries. When I am critical of Canadian foreign policy, it doesn't make me a person who hates Canada. I love Canada, and I want it to stop invading or oppressing other countries. It's because I'm patriotic. It's my love of my country that makes me critical. Otherwise, I could care less. Otherwise, I would say let Canada, let the US, let the UK do whatever they want. No. Here, this is our home. This is our home. This is our country. And we have another country. There's nothing wrong with having two countries, two homelands. There's nothing wrong with this. My dear brothers and sisters, and this is why I saved this lecture for tonight, because this is the message of Ashura. And this is the night of Ashura. That we have to be, Muslims in the West, be patriotic. Contribute to your society. Contribute to your community. Yes. And the best way of contributing is doing what you do best. If you're a businessman, do a good business. If you're a doctor, be the best doctor. If you're an engineer, be the best engineer. First of all, you're serving your country and you're serving your faith. You're serving your Islam. They'll say, look at this Muslim. This excellent doctor. This excellent Muslim doctor or engineer or CEO. You'll be benefiting your country and your faith. You'll make everyone proud. Serve. Serve. We are encouraged to be loyal citizens, law-abiding citizens of our countries. And this is the fatwa of our ulama that we've time and time again we've talked about. Our ulama, namely As-Sayyid Sistani, he says you have to abide by the law of the land. It is haram to break the laws of the land. Be law-abiding citizens. We Muslims have to be the first to abide by the laws. Not to break any laws when it comes to tax evasion or when it comes to whatever it is. Even if it's a traffic violation. We shouldn't. We should be the first to abide by the law. Positively contribute to society. The society, the community that welcomed me with open arms and provided me with opportunities, I should give back. I should give back to this community. This is how we give back, my dear friends. You might say, well, Sayyid, what if my country supports genocide? What if our country supports genocide? The people of Gaza are being killed and my country is complacent. My country is quiet. No, it's not just quiet, but it sends millions of dollars to a certain genocidal state, a state that is performing genocide on the people of Gaza, and my country is complacent. My country is supportive of genocide. What do we do then? Should we also be proud citizens of this country? Should we also be patriotic? No. We have to pack our bags and leave. We should leave these countries that support genocide. Or to say the least, we should not participate in elections. We should not participate in politics. We sit at home and let others participate in politics. Otherwise, we will be equally guilty. The answer. Number one, I've said this in many lectures, and I will say it again and again. Brothers and sisters, we're not leaving anywhere. This is our land. This is our country. Why should we retreat? Why should we surrender? Why should we give up? We've built futures for our communities, our children in this country. Why should we leave and pack our bags and leave? Do you see anyone else is leaving? They say, no, Sayyid, but it's become so hard, especially with the gender issues and the LGBTQ community and what they're teaching our kids at school. We have to pack our bags and leave. No. Instead, you open an Islamic school. Instead, you support your Islamic centers and your Husseyniyat. And you take care of your children. You do your part of teaching your children, preserving your children. You don't surrender and you leave. What, you think by going back home, everything's going to be perfect? Your children are going to be safe? No, there's danger everywhere. There's no running away from shaitan. There's no running away from dangers. Today there's social media. Today the danger is everywhere, whether you live in the East or the West. Stay here. This is your home. Contribute to society. Support your Islamic centers. Have schools. If a couple of years ago opening a school was a good thing, today it's a must, it's a wajib. Every community has to have an Islamic school for children. Instead of sending them to public schools, we have to have private schools. Full-time, not weekend schools. Full-time Islamic schools for our children. This is a must. And as for the talk of genocide and our country supporting genocide, number one, my dear friends, we have to differentiate between a country and its government. There's a difference between the country and the government. The country does not support genocide. We saw here in the West, in America, thousands and thousands of people protested what is happening in Gaza. And they supported the people of Palestine, white Americans, but who feel conscious. We're conscious of what is happening. We should not blame the entire country. We should not say that this country supports genocide. The government supports genocide. There's a difference between the government and the country. A lot of our fellow citizens, they stand by us. They don't agree on what's happening in the Middle East. They stand by the oppressed people of Gaza, Palestine, and everywhere else where there's oppression. They don't accept. They don't agree. So this is number one. Two, our government support genocide. Do something about it. Stop complaining. Be active. Be politically active. We say this, and then when it's time for elections, no. Boycott elections. Boycott elections. When you boycott elections, what do you think you did? What have you achieved? They say no, because when we vote, we're actually participating in the support of genocide. Listen, guess what? Do you pay taxes or you don't pay taxes? If you don't pay taxes, good luck, you're going to get arrested. If you pay taxes, you're already participating. You're already supporting your government. At least when you vote, you have a say. You have a say in how your taxes are being spent on education, on health, on infrastructure, on electricity. You decide. Why do you pay taxes and allow others to make the vote on your behalf? Others make the decision on your behalf. Be active. Go out and vote when it's time to vote. Have political campaigns or support certain political campaigns that are against genocide. You say they all support genocide. Well, you can do something about it. If we were to lobby and work, we can do something about it. Quit whining. Quit complaining. We can help our government by not supporting genocide, by not allowing our government to support genocide. Yes, they support genocide because we're quiet, because we're inactive. We are passive. The day that we take action, it will stop. There's a hadith that says, "Unsur akhaka zaliman wa mazluma." Support your brother in faith, whether he's oppressed or he's the oppressor. Ajib. If he's oppressed, we help him. It makes sense. Your brother is oppressed, you go and you support it and you help him. But you have to help him even when he's the oppressor. How does this make sense? The Imam says, أَن تَرْدَعْهُ عَنْ ظُلْمِهِ. You stop him from performing oppression. You support your brother by holding his hand, by not allowing him to oppress. Same goes for our countries and our governments. We become patriotic and contribute positively when we stop our governments from supporting genocidal states by participating in elections and in voting, by being active, not by being passive, not by complaining, not by boycotting elections. This will never get us anywhere. We have big numbers. Imagine what we could do when we participate. My dear friends, complaining will not get us anywhere. We have to be active the way that Imam Hussein alayhi salam was active. Imam Hussein was not passive. All of the Sahaba in Medina and the children of the Sahaba and the Tabi'een, when they heard that Yazid ibn Muawiyah has come to power, they couldn't care less. They couldn't care. Abdullah ibn Umar, the son of Umar ibn Khattab, he couldn't care. Others and others, they couldn't care. Not only did they not care when Imam Hussein alayhi salam rose to go to Kufa, they stopped him. They told him, Ya ibn Rasulullah, where are you going? Where are you going? You're going to get killed. He said, Sha Allah an yarani qatila. Allah has willed that I become a martyr. And then they told him, why are you taking these women with you? Why are you taking the women with you? He said, Sha Allah an yarahunna sabaya. Allah has willed that they be taken as captives. As captives. Tonight is the night of Ashura, my dear brothers and sisters. Tonight is the night to shed tears for Imam Hussein. Today, even the sky wept for Imam Hussein. An hour ago, the sky was weeping for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. It is the night of Ashura. Let's go and see what is happening in the tent of Imam Hussein tonight. What is happening? What's taking place? If we were to enter the camp of Imam Hussein on the night of Ashura, we would see them praying, worshipping, in dua, in salah, in munajat. كان لهم دوي كدوي النحل. The hadith says that the companions of Imam Hussein on the night of Ashura, they had a buzzing like the buzzing of a bee. If you enter their tents, you would hear the buzzing of a bee. One is reciting Quran, the other is reciting dua. ما بين قائم وقاعد وراكع وساجد. One is standing, one is performing sujood, one is performing ruku'. What a powerful night. The night of Ashura. The last night for Imam Hussein and his companions. And he knew it. And they all knew it. On the night of Ashura, Imam Hussein alayhi salam gave a speech. And he asked his companions that the enemy has not gathered to fight you. You are all safe. You may all leave. You may all leave. None of you have to stay. None of you have to fight. You know, a lot of commanders in the army, if you read about history, the commanders of an army, they usually give a speech before the fight, encouraging their army to fight, encouraging their soldiers to fight. That this is the final fight, show your courage, show your bravery. Except Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he told them to leave. The people want me, they want to kill me, they have nothing to do with you, you may leave. Zuhair ibn al-Qayn says, my dear master, on a night like this, on the night of Ashura, that if they were to kill me and cut me into pieces and burn what is remaining of my body and scatter it in the ash, scatter it in the wind, and for me to return back to life again, and for this to happen to me 70 times or 1,000 times, we would not leave you. Abu al-Fadl Abbas says, Ya ibn Rasulullah, na'ishu ba'dak? You want us to live after you? What is the meaning of life if you're not here, Ya Aba Abdullah? Assalamu alayka, Ya Aba Abdullah. Wa ala al-arwah allati hallat birahlik. On the night of Ashura, As-Sayyidah Zainab, salamullahi alayha, she was nervous. She was anxious. She would come to Abu Abdullah, my brother, you're leaving? That's it? Tomorrow you're going? All of you are going to leave us and go? What will happen to us? What will happen to the women? What will happen to the children? Ya Abu Abdullah. Zainab was anxious. Imam Hussein alayhi salam put his hand on the chest of Zainab. And he said, oh Allah, give her the patience that she needs. Oh Allah, give her the strength that she needs. Zainab, tomorrow you will be in charge. Tomorrow I will leave, you will be in the charge. Look after the orphans and children. Look after the women and kids. Tomorrow you will take lead. You have to be patient. Don't show the enemy's weakness. Zainab alayhi salam cried and she said, Satajiduni عند حسن ظنك بي يا أخي. Inshallah, I will make you proud, my brother. I will not disappoint you. I will not disappoint you, brother. The night of Ashura, the entire night was spent in worship and dua and munajat. Imam Hussein's last night. It's the last night Layla spends with Ali al-Akbar. the last night that Ramla spends with Al-Qasim. It's the last night that Zainab sees her brothers Al-Hussein wal-Abbas. And it's the last night that Rabab holds her child Abdullah. Abdullah the infant. On the day of Ashura, when the companions entered one by one, and they fought very bravely, when all of them went, Ali al-Akbar, Al-Qasim, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, no one was remaining. Imam Hussein alayhi salam comes to the tent. He puts on his turban, the turban of Rasulullah. He holds his horse and then he says, Ya Zainab, wa ya Kulthum, ويا سكينة ويا رقية ويا رباب عليكن مني السلام فهذا آخر الاجتماع. Imam Hussein came to say his last farewell. Zainab came to him. She told him, my brother, before you leave, I want to bring you your infant Abdullah. Look at him, he's about to die. He hasn't had anything to drink. Take him to the enemies. Perhaps they might quench his thirst. Imam Hussein took off his armor. He put down his sword and he took Abdullah to the enemy. Meaning that I have not come to fight you. I am asking you to be merciful with my child. He came and he said that if I have wronged you, if I have committed a sin, what sin has this child committed? They huddled. The enemy soldiers, they huddled. One said, let's give him water. The other said, don't give him water. They started arguing and Imam Hussein is raising the child in his hand. Umar bin Sa'd looks at Harmala and he says, Ya Harmala, اقطع نزاع القوم. End the dispute, Ya Harmala. Stop the dispute. Harmala knew that Umar bin Sa'd is telling him to shoot an arrow. So he said, Al-Walid am al-Walad. Should I shoot the father or should I shoot the son? Umar bin Sa'd told him, Ya Harmala, ama tara bayad nahr al-tif. Do you not see the white neck of the child? He gave him where to shoot the arrow. Umar bin Sa'd was watching, Harmala was watching. Imam Hussein is holding his infant child. Harmala says that on the day of Ashura, I shot 3 arrows and they all hit their mark. The first was the arrow that pierced through the eye of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. The second arrow was the arrow that landed in the chest of Imam Hussein, Al-Hussein ibn Ali. But the arrow that broke my heart was the arrow that pierced through the neck of Abdullah, entering from one side and coming out the other. فَذَبَحَهُ مِنَ الْوَرِيدِ إِلَى الْوَرِيدِ. He started bleeding. Abdullah took out his hands from his cloth and he started shaking, looking at his father as if telling him, my father, you brought me for some water. Look what have they done to me. Imam Hussein alayhi salam put his hand underneath the neck of Abdullah. He filled his hand with blood and he threw it to the sky. He said, oh Allah, Allahumma la yakun hadha ahwanu alayk min fasil naqati salih. Oh Allah, don't take this lightly more than the she-camel of Salih. Imam Hussein heard a voice from the sky saying, دعه يا حسين فإن له مرضعة في الجنة. Oh Hussein, leave him, he will have a nurse in heaven. Imam Hussein alayhi salam comes back to the tent. His daughter Sukaina comes to him. My father Aba Abdullah, where's my brother Abdullah? Did you quench his thirst? Did you give him water? And is there any water remaining? Imam Hussein takes out Abdullah. He says, take your brother. He has been killed. He has been martyred. Imagine the pain and agony of his mother Rabab when they brought Abdullah back to the woman's tent and they gave Rabab Abdullah. She saw her son in that state. يا ابني عبد الله يا غالي أنا برباك سهرت الليالي. There's a hadith that says that Imam Hussein alayhi salam went and buried Abdullah that same moment behind the tent. He went and dug a small grave for his son Abdullah. It was time for Imam Hussein to enter the battle. He asked for someone to bring him his horse. Man dha yuqaddimu li jawadi? Who will bring my horse? Zainab alayhi salam brings the horse of Imam Hussein, and she says, Ayyu ukhtin tuqaddimu li akhiha jawad al-maniyah? Which sister brings the horse of death to her brother? Imam Hussein alayhi salam rides his horse. Allah khalifati fikum astawdi'ukum Allah. I bid you farewell, my dear family, my dear sisters, my dear daughters. I am leaving, and Allah will take care of you. Imam Hussein alayhi salam is about to enter the battlefield. Bismillah wa billah wa fi sabilillah wa ala millati rasulillah. He hears a voice from behind him. What is this voice? Mahlan mahla, Ibn al-Zahra. Oh, the son of Fatima, not so fast. Oh, the son of Fatima, stop. He sees it's his sister Zainab. Zainab comes to him. Akhi Aba Abdullah, this is the final time that I call you. Inzil min ala dhahri jawadik. Imam Hussein comes down from his horse. Zainab comes to him. Akhi Aba Abdullah, ikshif li an sadrika wa an nahrik. Expose your chest and expose your neck. Imam Hussein exposes his chest and his neck. Zainab comes to him. She kisses him on his chest, where the horses will trample, and moments later, and she kisses his neck, the place of the swords. And then she looks towards Medina and she says, Ummah, laqad addaytu al-amana. My mother, I did exactly what you told me to. Imam Hussein told her, my sister, you break my heart. What are you saying? She told him that on the final night of my mother's life, she called me and she said, one day you will see Hussein all alone in a sacred land, without any soldiers, without anyone to help him. Go to him, kiss him on his chest and kiss him on his neck and tell him this is from your mother Fatima. لقد أديت الأمانة, my mother Fatima. خويا أنا بعيني لباري لك عيالك. أنا بروحي لسجت لك أطفالك. Moments later, Imam Hussein enters the battlefield. He falls from his horse. We will mention the maqtal tomorrow. The Imam loses his horse. The horse starts coming around Imam Hussein. When the enemy soldiers surround him, the horse keeps on coming around him, telling him, my master, they are coming for you. They are coming with their swords. Get up, let me take you back to the tent. The Imam cannot get up. The horse goes back to the camp of Sayyidah Zainab. They thought that Imam Hussein was back to the tent. They come out, the sisters of Imam Hussein, the daughters of Imam Hussein. They come out and they see the horse empty, without the knight. They see that Imam Hussein is not on his horse. They come, Sayyidah Zainab comes. She stands at the hill and she looks at the battlefield and she sees Shibn ibn al-Jawshan approaching Imam Hussein. Shout, Wa Husayna, Wa Madluma. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. العلي العظيم. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. نسألك اللهم وندعوك باسمك العلي الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا عيبا إلا سترته، ولا خوفا إلا آمنته، ولا رزقا إلا بسطته، ولا شملا إلا جمعته، ولا مرضا إلا شفيته، ولا غائبا إلا حفظته وأدنيته، ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها ويسرتها يا أرحم الراحمين. ولأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات. الفاتحة مع الصلوات.